guys, in today's video I'm gonna share some tips on how to make your selfies Pinterest worthy. I already have a video where I talk more so about technical aspects of taking a selfie, so if you want to see that video I'm gonna link it down below. But today we're gonna be focusing more on the vibes and specifically how to achieve Pinterest vibes. All those Pinterest girlies spend a lot of time preparing for those selfies. They don't just like pull out their phone and take a picture whenever they look cute. It just doesn't work like that. Trust me, I am behind the scenes of this industry and I know how much effort they put into looking good on that particular day because they know they will be taking a selfie. Of course, I'm not saying that there never was a selfie that was taken on accident and just turned out to be good, but majority of these had a lot of preparations. And I think it's only fair that you guys know, because a lot of us look at these girls and think, well, you know, they're just lucky, they just look like that, then there's nothing I can do to be like that. But that is not true, and really anyone can do it with the right set of knowledge. So please don't give up if it doesn't work out from the first time, because I know it took me so many years to be able to do selfies that I actually like and don't want to delete right away. Besides that, I wanted to say that selfies are not just about being pretty or looking pretty, it's about the vibe you give. So you don't have to be conventionally attractive or look good on your selfies to have that Pinterest worthy selfie. It just has to stand out. We all struggle with self-image because the beauty standards right now are just crazy unachievable. And what I don't want you guys to do is give up just because you heard the word Pinterest, just because you feel like you'll never be good enough. Because I know I felt like this once, and it is possible to bring yourself to the point, to gaslight yourself to the point where you will believe that you're good enough. And if you do think you're good enough as it is right now, then good for you. This video will still help if you want to learn something new. So first tip is add way more makeup than you think you need, because obviously iPhone takes away from our makeup, but that wasn't always the case. If you're one of those people who established a makeup routine back when you had one of those old iPhones, and now in 2024 you have one of those new ones, but you still use the same makeup routine and it's just not working the same, well, let me tell you why. Because when the quality of your phone increases, ironically, it takes away from your makeup. You would think that because the quality increased, your makeup should stand out even more, you should see it even better, but nope. Nope, because now you see a lot more details and your makeup is just somewhere there. It's just not as bright as it used to be. You need to add more makeup. The best way of doing that is just adding it as you go, adding it as you take your pictures by looking at your phone screen. I know I mentioned this life hack before in my previous video, but I'm sure not everyone saw it, so I'm just adding it here too, just in case. In case you don't want to go out there looking like a clown, there's another way for you to make sure your makeup stands out is by using editing apps. Some of the apps people use is obviously Face App and Facetune. Both of them are not free and they have different types of makeup and editing you can do. I personally prefer Facetune because there you can actually manually paint on yourself, so you can add a little bit of bronzer or darken your eyeshadow. Facetune looks more natural because it doesn't necessarily give you a new face in a way, because Face App does make you look a bit generic, but it also depends on how much Face App you're using. Let's just say possibility of you going Pinterest famous when you over edited your picture is very low because people can tell. Maybe a few years ago they couldn't, but now they can tell. So whatever you do, make sure you do it very softly, make sure it's not too obvious. My next tip is get one of those selfie friendly phone cases that will help you to improve your pictures. There will be many times when you will need your phone on a tripod, and I'm gonna talk about this later in the video, we'll get there, but trust me, it will make a huge difference. Let me show you my phone cases that I use. Those are from Torras. See this little ring right here? It comes out. If you haven't heard of Torras, they are the original backstand phone case brand. The two different ostand cases that they offer are both amazing. The ostand spin case has a built-in magnetic ring that can attach to any magnetic surface and can be used as a tripod. The ostand R case is able to rotate 360 degrees, which allows the stand to rotate more flexibly. So basically the difference between these two are the rotation patterns. The 360 spin case spins in one location with 4 fixed points for stability, in comparison to the ostand R case, which rotates more flexibly. You can use this ring for added stability when you're taking selfies or even scrolling. Check out the Torras ostand phone cases. I'm gonna leave the link down below in the description. Next, we're gonna talk about iPhone settings. As you might have noticed, if you have the newest iPhone, it will darken your selfies and it will ruin the quality for some reason. When you're just taking the picture, it looks all good, but then once you save it to your camera roll, it looks horrible, guys. It looks terrible. So there's some ways to avoid that. First thing you can do is go on your phone, press that little arrow, find that plus sign, plus minus sign basically, and change the settings to +0.7 or less if you want. I don't know, I keep it on +0.7. What this will do is brighten your pictures, so when you take them, they will automatically come out brighter than whatever iPhone does, because when iPhone does that weird edit to your picture, it darkens them. But this won't really help with the skin texture that you will get. The next thing you can do is take a burst, because when you're taking a burst, it doesn't apply this weird filter thing and you're getting your photos basically as you see them on your camera. The only problem is they don't turn out as high quality as when you take them one by one. For some certain looks it might work out. For example, grunge aesthetic doesn't require very high quality photos, but then for clean girl and all those type of aesthetics, you would need something more sharp. Another thing you need to know about your iPhone, especially the selfie camera, it distorts your face. And every iPhone, well, not every iPhone, but some of the iPhones had a different lens on their selfie cameras, and depending on that lens, your face would look different. So that's why you might even find yourself liking your pictures from your old iPhones more than your new ones, not only because of that weird filter that they put on your pictures or editing, but also because of the fact that lens changed. And depending on what lens you're using, your face will look different. For example, current iPhone lens is 23mm and iPhone lens on my old phone was 32mm. And that's a huge difference, guys. And I did like my old phone more for selfies. So yeah, if you're feeling a bit weird, like you don't really look like yourself, this is why. And here's when you might need my next tip. Take your pictures on the back camera. I personally came to the conclusion that back camera on iPhone has a better lens for your face, so your face looks better on the back camera. But other than that, your back camera has a better quality too. But then it begs the question, how can I take pictures on my back camera and make sure I look good in them if I don't see myself? This is where you will need your phone stand and a mirror. Find inspirations, but make sure you don't copy just one single picture. Find a bunch of them in the same theme, combine them together in your head or make a collage and then recreate it. That way you'll make sure that you're not just copying one picture and doesn't turn out looking unoriginal, but you look different, you look cool, you stand out. It can be a cool prop that you used on the photo, it can be a really unique makeup, it can be some hairstyles that you came up with, or a crazy background that you found, and generally just some certain aesthetic and vibe that it's giving. For example, office siren, fairy core, whatever it is you like. You can create your pictures based on that vibe. I know I say vibes when I should be saying aesthetic. I'm just so tired of the word aesthetic. For my office siren picture, I used a pen and I would just put it in my hair. So it's already a little something, it already stands out. You just have to find that it factor that will make your picture stand out. It can be a couple things or it can be just one thing. Essentially, everything on social media is about capturing attention, and it might sound shallow, but it is what it is, guys. But obviously for me, and I'm sure for most of you too, taking pictures is form of art, form of self-expression, so don't feel guilty if you're trying hard to make a good picture. There's so much that goes into it. It's not just taking a picture, it's creating something. So treat it as an art form and don't feel bad just because you're trying too hard. You're not trying too hard, you're mastering your art. Beauty routine / maintenance regime. A lot of those good looking people on the internet actually look good in real life too. I know this might be shocking because we want to believe and gaslight ourselves that all of those influencers don't look good enough in real life, but I've seen them and majority of them do look the same. Not everyone, but majority do. The reason why is that they have a beauty regime. Now there's a couple things you can do to achieve that. You can make it happen at home or you can go use professional services. For example, I recently got a haircut. It's called Korean layers or something like that. They just cut my hair in a way that it would look the best with my face shape and it ended up looking very cute. I really liked it. Another thing that I recently tried that is pretty common among those content creators is eyebrow lamination. I never had it done before, so I didn't really know what to expect. And I was a bit skeptical at first because I thought my eyebrows were too bushy and too crazy and it's gonna end up looking a bit wild. And at first I was scared. I felt like I looked like Rock Lee from Naruto. If you know, you know. But once it all settled down, it started looking normal, and essentially what it does, it makes your eyebrows more manageable, and for that clean girl look, it's something you might want to consider. But for me personally, I like my messy eyebrows more because it just looks natural. But I did like it as an experiment and I might even do it again. I don't know. Now let's talk about light. Obviously, the best light you can use is the light from your window, and specifically the light you get from 5 to 6 p.m. It's called golden light. Or if you want to showcase your makeup or make sure your selfies look more like glam, then you can use artificial light sources. The best way to set up your lights would be to place them a bit higher than your face, and make sure you have two sources of light so that it's not only one part of your face being lit up. And even if you place the light directly in front of you, I don't think it will be enough, and I don't think it will look as gradual. There's very cheap light options on Amazon. I think they go for like $10, so you can get two of those. Another way to do it is by using flash, but I wouldn't say that iPhone flash is good enough. Another way to play with your light is to take pictures in the dark, and I know it sounds weird, but some of the girls do a really good job taking those dark photos. When you have less light, there's less detail on your photo, and therefore you look better, but you have to make sure you have at least some source of light, even if it's kind of far. Location and outfits. Obviously, you don't see your full outfit, but you should make sure that your top or accessories stand out. For example, there's a bunch of selfies that I personally saved on Pinterest because I loved how the accessories look on them. And that is basically it. I know these tips weren't as technical as my last tips, but trust me, getting the right vibe and right light and right mood is very important for the picture. Probably even more important than knowing the technical stuff, because a lot of us falsely believe that if we had the right camera, if we had the, I don't know, right settings set up, our selfies will turn magically great. But not really. You have to be in the right mindset. You have to make some preparations before you take that picture, and then the chances increase. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.